You've just tapped into the brain of successful online bookseller Adam Bertram. Whether you're selling books on Amazon, eBay, Alibris, or Abe Books, Adam shares his out-of-the-box thinking and completely transparent advice to help you achieve your sales goals in record time. Let's listen in now to hear the latest super helpful yet down-to-earth blog post posted on the only blog for successful online booksellers at sellyourbooksonline.com.
Used booksellers. 9 reasons your sales suck. This book smells like cat urine. Condition is important. This is a fact. If you saw 2 books side by side with very similar prices, would you choose acceptable or like new? Would you be willing to take the risk on used booksellers with a lower feedback score to get the like new copy? Probably. Listing books with better condition can greatly increase the likelihood of getting that sale. When sourcing books, don't settle for acceptable books unless the market demand and price justifies it. Pass up the ex-library book with no dust jacket even though you can buy it for $0.25 and your PDA tells you $5. I've analyzed thousands of my own orders and only 20% of my sales come from books in acceptable condition. I hope that you are thoroughly looking over each book prior to listing. If the book looks brand new, that doesn't mean that had a previous owner that took care of it, but highlighted 80% of the pages. List the book's condition properly every time. If in doubt, always lean towards listing in worse condition than it actually is. Just buy the book and shut up. Customer service is important for used booksellers, but not as important as other topics. Typically, you won't have a lot of customers asking questions prior to the sale. However, if you're able to answer their question quickly and with courtesy, they're probably going to buy the book. Although, it may be tempting to ignore a potential eBay customer asking a long question about a $3 book. Just do it. It may be only $3 now, but how many other books do you have that they might like to combine shipping on? 18 cents for delivery confirmation? Hell no. I'm cheap. I admit it. I'm sure this has hindered me in operating a business. For a long time, I refused delivery confirmation on all packages just because it was 18 cents. If you like it or not, this is beginning to be required and expected from customers. It will also save you if something goes awry in shipping. I also refused to purchase Monsoon because it was nearly 10 times more expensive than my previous service. It wasn't until I bit the bullet that I realized what it could do for me. Being cheap is fine when you're brand new and refuse to take out any debt. However, if you're looking to pursue bookselling full-time, you have to spend money to make money. To be one of many used booksellers, take that leap into using Amazon FBA, even though you're going to pay a little more or put a few $100 up for that bulk lot of books that you've looked at and have had a good feeling about. Think long-term. What's the use of money sitting idle in the bank? Spend it to build your business. Call 911. I can't breathe. Have you seen pictures of those bookstores that have no room to walk? They've been out of space for a long time, but refuse to admit it. As an online seller, you don't have to worry about lawsuits from customers, but your inventory system goes kaput. You have no clue where to find an order. Books are falling on top of you and customers are screaming they need their order now. Nip the problem in the bud when sourcing books. Refuse to buy books for pennies even though the Amazon low price is $20. Pay attention to sales rank as well. My minimum for a sales rank of 5 million plus is $20. Trust me, I've ran the numbers on thousands of orders and less than 2% of my sales come from very high sales rank books. Cull books regularly. Are you running out of shelf space? Many used booksellers are. Run reports of your inventory to regularly remove books that have priced at your price floor and with a high sales rank. Regularly, purging books is a routine of mine that pays off every time. I get more space and remove books that have had their time to shine, but no one is buying. This is what you want, I promise. Never expect a potential customer to read your mind. They may see the title of a book, but this ain't Snowflakes where everyone is unique. Your copy could smell like cat urine, while the competitors may be shrink wrapped still. Condition itself is a good indicator, but don't announce the obvious money-back guarantee or 100% buyer satisfaction in your description. Make an obvious effort to describe the book's general condition. Get in a habit of taking pictures of every book you list. I had not done this for a very long time. It's something I have recently started, and I'm noticing a considerable increase in high sales rank book sales because of it. To begin, I pulled all books with a listing price over $20, took a picture of each, and attached the picture to the listing. People appreciate seeing the book they're buying. This is something I believe all used booksellers should do. My sales are fine. I'm doing pretty good on Amazon. You're either lazy, refuse to grow, or are overwhelmed if you don't expand to multiple sales channels. For used booksellers, Amazon is the best place to go. You're on the money there, but eBay, Alibris, Abe Books, and Half combined are also good places to sell as well. Combined, they only make up 20% of my sales, but if you buy the right service, Monsoon, Phil's, AOB, Channel Max, Indaba, etc., they do all the work for you. It's just a matter of opening up an account and releasing your inventory. Screw the books today. I'm watching TV. Well, we all work hard. I know this. However, putting off regular day-to-day tasks and pursuing new ideas for your business can kill it. Make a priority list of everything you need to get done with your business and stick to it. Don't put off expanding to a new market, skipping a library sale, creating an FBA shipment, or regularly tweaking your pricing strategy. If your goal is to expand your business, perhaps replace a full-time income, or simply make $1,000 a month, do it. Stick to your goals and don't relent. You can succeed, and the rewards will come if you put effort into it. I don't have time right now. I'll list those books tomorrow. This goes with number 7, making listing new inventory a priority every single day. The best way to increase or at least maintain a sales level is to list new inventory constantly. For used booksellers, you'll find that 10% of your new inventory will sell quickly and the rest will go slowly. Customers tend to skim the cream off the top. If you can maintain a level of new inventory that's in demand, you will continue this lucrative phase. Eventually, you'll find that the other 90% that don't sell quickly will become a huge quantity of your inventory. By that time, numbers will be on your side, and your huge quantity of less desirable books will seem to sell more because you'll have many more. Don't get caught up on tasks that may be of interest but do not make money. I'm guilty of this. Sometimes, if creating an FBA shipment doesn't sound like much fun, I'll choose to cull books from my shelves. Stupid. Man up and prioritize tasks that are moneymakers. The other tasks may need to be done, but if you've got hundreds of dollars just waiting to be made, why would you procrastinate? If you don't prioritize based on potential profit, then what is your business about? 50 cents for a $150 book? What's this sales rank thing? Who cares? This is another bad habit I got into when I first started and is a very slippery slope. You have to be careful here, and this expertise comes with time. I had a minimum price that I'd list a book for at $2. I could buy books for pennies and make 50 cents or so if the book sold. I was happy because I was making money. Why would I pass on these books if it was guaranteed money? The reason is your time is limited, and you've got to put a minimum hourly wage on your time. Why spend 2 hours shipping 20 mass-market paperbacks and profit $50 when you could spend 5 minutes shipping 2 books? I say that this is a slippery slope because I don't want you to pass up books just because of the sales rank. I've sold books with 8 million plus sales ranks before for $50 plus. Used booksellers would be ecstatic with this. I'm not saying that Amazon sales rank is everything, but you'll find that it is very accurate in determining market demand. With time and experience, you'll soon find that it's not worth your time messing with very low-end books. Eventually, think about hiring someone to list them via FBA or sell them in bulk to bookstores, flea market vendors, etc. Put a dollar figure on your time and stick to it. You'll find that total orders will go down, but average sale price will go up. Now, why do your sales suck, and what could you do to increase revenue?
Thanks for listening to the latest topic about online book selling. If you're interested in this topic or the hundreds of other topics about going into business for yourself from selling books on the internet, please visit sellyourbooksonline.com. This is where you can get exclusive videos, learn from other sellers, and a whole lot more. Until next time, folks, remember to always take action and think different.